Real Country 1430 AM and 1073 FM WRDN. I'm Brian Winnekins, and this is the WRDN Morning Farm Report. Joining us this morning, Nancy Kavazanjian. She is with the Wisconsin Soybean Marketing Board, and she's out in big bad New York City and working with some folks to help promote Wisconsin soybeans. And we're going to talk with Nancy a little bit about that today. And thank you to our newsmaker sponsors, including Alcivia Co-op, Annabis Silo, Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, Compeer Financial, Osteoplastics Synergy Co-op, Wisconsin Farmers Union, Wisconsin Corn Growers Association, and the Wisconsin Soybean Marketing Board. Nancy, thanks for joining us. You're at the Soy Connext. Tell us about that. What's Soy Connext?
Soy Connext is the international marketing meeting. It brings in our soy buyers from across the world into a meeting to talk and to connect, thus the Soy Connect, with farmers, with sellers, and to hear a little bit more about the new crop soybeans that they're so interested in, our buyers.
And tell us about that. What type of soybeans? I've always heard this before about U.S. beans and even specifically even Wisconsin beans, higher oils and that sort of thing. Is that really what they're looking for? What are they looking for?
Our buyers are looking for a good, consistent, high quality source of soybeans, of protein for their animals and their food needs. So yes, U.S. soy is a consistent supplier. They know that. But if you're looking especially at our northern grown beans, like in Wisconsin, we have we may have a little bit lower all over protein, but when you look at the quality of our protein, it's perfectly suited for feeding to livestock, especially to hogs and to chickens, and of course to fish. We forget that a lot of the world eats fish as their protein. So our buyers want a good, consistent source, somebody that always upholds their contracts, which the United States always does. And we have standards here. So when they're buying soybeans from the United States, they know they're getting the quality that they're paying for.
Talking with Nancy Kavazanjian. She's a Wisconsin soybean grower, member of the Wisconsin Soybean Marketing Board. And she is out with other Wisconsin soybean growers for Soy Connext, which is being hosted by the United States Soybean Export Council. How many, Nancy, do you know how many nations are there?
I don't know, but I think there were 6 different languages that they were translating to this morning. And the first one, I think it must have been an African language because I had never seen it before. But certainly there are a lot of Asian buyers here, African buyers, Latin American. In fact, when I stood at the Northern Soybean Marketing Board booth last night, we had a little trade show reception. I had a gentleman come up from China to talk to us, and he was looking specifically for Wisconsin farmers. He was a feed mill operator in China, looking for our high quality, our really good amino acid soybeans that come from Wisconsin. Now, he didn't speak any English, but luckily there was another Chinese woman from Wisconsin who had come up to talk to me, and she was a trader, and she was interpreting for us. So we had a wonderful 3-way conversation about Wisconsin soybeans, and we have a potential buyer.
Wow. Not only the high quality that buyer was asking about, did he ask about how are they grown, sustainability, that sort of thing? Because we hear so much of that.
Well, he didn't specifically, and I would say, maybe we didn't get that far in the conversation, but sustainability is at top of mind, especially for the U.S. Soybean Export Council. We have a sustainability protocol that is recognized worldwide, and it is equal, or I'm going to say it's better than the South American protocol for sustainability. And it's based on the aggregate of data that we collect from all U.S. farmers. And it shows that U.S. soybeans are more sustainable. And, we're doing so much, especially in Wisconsin. We have some new conservation issues, items that we're really working to meet in Wisconsin, planting more soybeans green than ever. And that sustainability message is resonating throughout the world, from Japan and China, Indonesia, markets where you never heard it 10 years ago. Sustainability is very important.
Talking with Nancy Kavazanjian with the Wisconsin Soybean Marketing Board. She's a Wisconsin soybean farmer. She is out in New York City this week for Soy Connext, being hosted by the U.S. Soybean Export Council. This is kind of exciting that we have a Chinese buyer specifically asking for Wisconsin beans. So I guess it begs the question, is Wisconsin Soybean Marketing Board going to try to get this buyer to come for a visit to Wisconsin?
Well, that would be great. We're always hoping. And then I talked to somebody else with the U.S. Export Council who said, oh, yeah, we need to bring more trade teams up to Wisconsin. It's so close to Chicago. Especially the Europeans. They're very interested in sustainability as well, the European marketers. And with our new port in Milwaukee now, we have this a really good opportunity with the Black Sea closed because of the Ukraine, the Milwaukee market, the Milwaukee grain elevator that has now opened shipping through the Great Lakes is going to give us a real advantage to reach Europe and North Africa faster than we can through the Mississippi.
And that's a big thing, Nancy. Because where your farm, especially for Wisconsin, where your farm's located, you're more in the eastern part of the state, but where a lot of folks' farms that are here in the western part of the state where I'm at in Pepin County, well, we need to use the Mississippi rivers, but it's a little bit harder for you to go west than it is to use that brand new port in Milwaukee.
Well, it is, but a lot of our beans do go west, and they will go by train up to the Northwest. The Northwest market, again, is really important to all of soy, and the ports in Washington and Oregon and Northern California that are serving Southeast Asia and China markets. So we do have a lot of Wisconsin beans. So here we have a great opportunity to do both, to expand west with those markets and the people in your area, and then east through the Great Lakes region. Wherever we can disappear our soybeans from will only make our markets stronger.
Talking with Nancy Kavazanjian. She is with the Wisconsin Soybean Marketing Board and a member of the marketing board, also Wisconsin soybean farmer. She's at the Soy Connext in New York City this week with the United States Soybean Export Council. Before we let you go, Nancy, have to ask, how is the soybean crop this year? I know in parts of southern Wisconsin, it's been very, very, very dry. What's it like?
It has been dry. We've been surviving on a 10th here and a 10th there. About a week ago, maybe a week and a half when we started wheat harvest, it rained 3 inches. So we got a little bit of rain, but it's dry again. I think it remains, we're all holding our breath. It was an interesting planting season. It was a slow June. And then July seemed to help us get a 10th here and there that grew the crop. I don't know what all those cloudy, smoky days have done to our soybean crop. So we're holding our breath, but it looks like we should have at least an average crop. We'd all love an above average crop, wouldn't we? But average at least.
Yes, we would. That is Nancy Kavazanjian. She is with the Wisconsin Soybean Marketing Board. She's out in New York City for Soy Connext. It's being hosted by the U.S. Soy Export Council. You're listening to the WRDN Morning Farm Report.